Clover, shorty was hot like sorry, but I had to fold her like a pornography poster. She showed her apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur. The whole club was looking at her. She hit the floor. Next thing you know, shorty got low. Them baggy sweating pants and the Reeboks with the straps. Turned around and gave that big booty a smash. She hit the floor. Next thing you know, shorty got low. Yeah, she was worth the money. The mama took my cash, and I ain't want it back. The way she bit that got her them paper stacks, tattoo above her crack. I had to handle that. I was on it, sexy woman, get me shown and make me want it. 2 in the morning, I'm zoning, and them rose bottles foaming. She wouldn't stop, made it drop. Jordan did that poppin' lock, had to break her off that guap. Yeah, I was fine just like my glide. Apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur. The whole club was looking at her. She hit the floor. Next thing you know, shorty got low. Them baggy sweating pants and the Reeboks with the straps. Turned around and gave that big booty a smash. She hit the floor. Next thing you know, shorty got low. Come on.
Cheer. Rihanna. Good girl going bad. Take 3. Action. Ho. No clouds in my stones. Let it rain. I hydroplane in the bank. Coming down like a Dow Jones. When the clouds come, we gone. We Rockefeller, we fly higher than weather, and G5s are better. You know me, in anticipation for precipitation, stack chips with a rainy day. Jay, Rain Man is back with Little Miss Sunshine. Rihanna, where you at?
You have my heart, and we'll never be worlds apart. Maybe in magazines, but you still be my star. Baby, 'cause in the dark, you can't see shiny cars, and that's when you need me there. With you, I'll always share. Because when the sunshine, we shine together. Told you I'll be here forever. Said I'll always be your friend. Took an oath, I'ma stick it out to the end. Now that it's raining more than ever, know that we'll still have each other. You can stand under my umbrella. Stand under my umbrella, under my umbrella, under my umbrella, under my umbrella, fancy things will never come in between. You're part of my entity, here for infinity. When the world has took its part, when the world has dealt its cards, if the hand is hard, together we'll mend your heart. Because when the sunshine, we'll shine together. Told you I'll be here forever. Said I'll always be your friend. Took an oath, I'ma stick it out to the end. Now that it's raining more than ever, know that we'll still have each other. You can stand under my umbrella. You can stand under my umbrella. Under my umbrella. Under my umbrella. Under my umbrella. You can run into my arms. It's okay, don't be alarmed. Come into me. There's no distance in between our love. So gonna let the rain pour. I'll be all you need and more. Because when the sunshine, we shine together. Told you I'll be here forever. Said I'll always be your friend. Took an oath, I'ma stick it under my umbrella, ella, ella, 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 it's raining, raining. Oh, baby, it's raining, raining. Baby, come into me. Come into me. It's raining, raining. Oh, baby, it's raining, raining. You can always come into me. Come into me. It's pouring rain. It's pouring rain. Come into me. Come into me. It's pouring rain. It's pouring rain. Come into me. Come into me.
I came to dance, 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 dance. I hit the floor cause that's my plans, 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 plans. I'm wearing all my favorite brands, 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 brands. Give me some space for both my hands, 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 hands. Yeah, yeah, cause it goes on and on and on. And it goes on and on and on. Yeah, I throw my hands up in the air sometimes, saying, ayo, gotta let go. I wanna celebrate and live my life, saying, ayo, baby, let's go. Cause we gon' rock this club, we gon' go all night, we gon' light it up like it's dynamite. Cause I told you once, now I told you twice, we gon' light it up like it's dynamite. I came to move, 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 move. Get out the way of me and my crew, 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 crew. I'm in the club, so I'm gonna do just what the folk came here to do. Yeah, yeah, cause it goes on and on and on. And it goes on and on and on. Yeah, I throw my hands up in the air sometimes, saying, ayo, gotta let go. I wanna celebrate and live my life, saying, ayo, baby, let's go. Cause we gon' rock this club, we gon' go all night, we gon' light it up like it's dynamite. Cause I told you once, now I told you twice, we gon' light it up like it's dynamite. I'm gonna take it all right. I'm gonna be the last one standing, higher over all right. I'm gonna be the last one landing, cause I believe it, and I just want it all, I just want it all. I'm gonna put my hands in the air, hands in the air, put your hands in the air, yeah, 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 yeah. I throw my hands up in the air sometimes, saying, ayo, gotta let go. I wanna celebrate and live my life, saying, ayo, baby, let's go. Cause we gon' rock this club, we gon' go all night, we gon' light it up like it's dynamite. Cause I told you once, now I told you twice, we gon' light it up like it's dynamite.
Please don't stop the music. 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 Yes, I gotta get my body moving, shake the stress away. I wasn't looking for nobody when you look my way. Possible candidate, yeah. Who knew that you'd be up in here looking like you do? You make us staying over here impossible. Baby, I'ma say your aura is incredible. If you don't have to go, don't. Do you know what you started? I just came here to party, but now we're rocking on the dance floor, acting naughty. Your hands around my waist, just let the music play. We're hand in hand, just to trust, and now we're face to face. I wanna take you away, let's escape into the music. DJ, let it play. I just can't refuse it. Like the way you do, just keep on rocking to it. Please don't stop the music. I wanna take you away. Let's escape into the play. I just can't refuse it. Like the way you do this. Keep on rocking to it. Please don't stop the music. Baby, are you ready? 'Cause it's getting close. Don't you feel the passion ready to explode? What goes on between us, no one has to know. This is a private show. Oh, do you know what you started? I just came here to party, but now we're rocking on the dance floor, acting naughty. Your hands around my waist, just let the music play. We're hand in hand, just to trust, and now we're face to face. I wanna take you away, let's escape into the music. DJ, let it play. I just can't refuse it. Like the way you do, just keep on rocking to it. Please don't stop the music. I wanna take you away, let's escape into the music. DJ, let it play. I just can't refuse it. Like the way you do this, keep on rocking to it. Please don't stop the music. 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 I wanna take you away, let's escape into the music. DJ, let it play. I just can't refuse it. Like the way you do, just keep on rocking to it. Please don't stop the music. I wanna take you away, let's escape into the music. DJ, let it play. I just can't refuse it. Like the way you do this, keep on rocking to it. Please don't stop the music. 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 Music, 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 music.
Feeling my way through the darkness, guided by a beating heart. I can't tell where the journey will end, but I know where to start. They tell me I'm too young to understand. They say I'm caught up in a dream. Well, life will pass me by if I don't open up my eyes. So that's fine by me. So wake me up when it's all over, when I'm wiser and I'm older. All this time I was finding myself and I didn't know I was lost. So wake me up when it's all over, when I'm wiser and I'm older. All this time I was finding myself and I didn't know I was lost. I tried carrying the weight of the world, but I only have two hands. Hope I get the chance to travel the world, but I don't have any plans. Wish that I could stay forever this young, not afraid to close my eyes. Life's a game made for everyone, and love is the prize. So wake me up when it's all over, when I'm wiser and I'm older. All this time I was finding myself, and I didn't know I was lost. So wake me up when it's all over, when I'm wiser and I'm older. All this time I was finding myself, and I didn't know I was lost. 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 I didn't know.
I wanna hold them like they do in Texas, please. Fold them, let them hit me, raise it, baby, stay with me. I love it. Love game, intuition, play the cards with spades to start. And after he's been hooked, I'll play the one that's on his heart. Oh, 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 oh. I'll get him high, show him what I got. Oh, 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 oh. I'll get him high, show him what I got. Can't read mine, no, we can't read him my poker face. She's never loved nobody. Can't read mine, no, we can't read him my poker face. She's never loved nobody. Poker face, poker face. Poker face, poker face. I wanna roll with him, a heart that we will be. A little gambling is fun when you're with me. Russian roulette is not the same without a gun. And baby, when it's love, if it's not rough, it isn't fun. Oh, 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 oh. I'll get him high, show him what I got. Oh, 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 oh. I'll get him high, show him what I got. Can't read mine, no, we can't read him my poker face. She's never loved nobody. Can't read mine, no, we can't read him my poker face. She's never loved nobody. Poker face, poker face. Poker face, poker face. I won't tell you that I love you, just to hug you, cause I'm bluffing with my muffin. I'm not lying, I'm just stunning with my love glue gunning. Just like a chick in the casino, take your bank before I pay you out. I promise this promises. Check this hand, cause I'm marvelous. Can't read my, no, we can't read my poker face. She's got more than nobody.
It began with a vision, a desire to create a platform for people to be seen and heard, their voices and messages amplified around the world. For the last 5 years, we have crowned winner after winner as they conquered each challenge, stood in each truth, and triumphed over every adversity. We birthed the Emerging Speakers program and brought the energy and community of our competitions together with our inspirational curriculum. We had guest speakers and workshops, and our community thrived. Our greatest joy was seeing the opportunities presented to our speakers as they were featured in media and in documentaries. Booking paid gigs, getting featured on TEDx, and speaking on huge stages with speaking giants. They went viral time and time again with huge brands like Goalcast, Power of Positivity, Inner Light Media, Jay Shetty, and A+, reaching millions of people around the world. They published books and launched movements, and Speaker Slam got to be an important part of their journey, a loving, supportive launchpad for their success. We were all hopeful and excited, and the future looked bright. And in 2020, a worldwide pandemic brought us to our knees. All of us, collectively. And everything that we knew to be true shifted. The way we connected to each other, the way we used social media, the way we socialized. Stages were no longer grand in-person affairs. Opportunities slowed down and dried up. Our powerful, packed monthly live events with 200 to 300 people ceased. Our live Emerging Speakers program shut down, and our entire business model as we had built it was taken away. And we took a breath. Through the uncertainty and the shock and the fear, but we trusted. We trusted that humans will always need connection, that our truths and vulnerability and our voices will always have power and will always make an impact. We trusted that Speaker Slam was needed, and we saw the opportunity to transition, to see the silver lining, that we could reach more people by moving from live events to online competitions, that we could have people from all around the world connect with us and compete and make an impact together, that we could bring our Emerging Speakers program to a wider audience online, and most important, that we could deliver what we knew people needed the most: hope, purpose, connection. It was our rebirth, our opportunity to take an incredible challenge and push through, building momentum, embracing the silver lining, and coming through to the other side, stronger, more powerful, more inspirational. And through that rebirth, we witnessed our speakers now from all around the world stepping into their greatness, shining brilliantly, embracing their truth, conquering their fears, and believing in their destiny to take that long road, risking, competing, and winning. And tonight, the best speakers of the year take our stage to show you exactly who they are. They are here to be powerful and to be reborn into Speaker Slam greatness as we crown the 2021 Inspirational Speaker of the Year.
Speaker! 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 Hands are thrown down, let's go!
Have everybody rise. It's showtime. Have a seat, y'all. Wow. Wow, I can't believe you made it. You risked your lives to be here. I'm grateful that you're here. And you might be wondering, Dan, where's Rena? Well, let me tell you something. She's watching right now from above, the internet. She's watching from home right now on her couch like a queen that she is. And we weren't going to leave you behind without having some motherly energy at the show. So I have a new co-host with me for the Grand Slam. And some of you might know her. You might know her as the Too Much Woman. You might know her. Oh, yeah. Yeah, let's show her some love. She is a viral sensation. She has been crowned the #1 most inspirational speaker at Speaker Slam. So without further ado, let me help welcome Gina Hatsis. Yeah.
Hey, baby.
Hey.
Hey. Now, first of all, damn.
No, damn.
Does he not look spectacular? Let's
No,
put some love to
look at
Dan.
this woman. Okay. I'll take it. I need it.
And the speakers, you all look spectacular. Thank goodness this isn't a beauty competition because you all look fabulous. And I can't remember the last time I was so excited to put Spanx on. So this is a really exciting. I have been a speaker on this stage. I have had the opportunity to judge multiple times, and completing the trifecta by co-hosting with you, Dan, is like a full circle moment. Thank you, Dan and Rena, for trusting me with this honor. This is a big deal, but let's talk about the theme tonight.
The
rebirth.
theme is rebirth. And honestly, this is one of those themes that originally it came to be out of just us living our lives. And for me personally, I had a friend who recently passed away, and his life was so sudden. He was young, and I knew I wanted something where we could all kind of come together and celebrate something precious about life.
Well, I think everybody can relate to rebirth because we've all been invited in some way over the past couple of years to revisit where we're at and to look at maybe where we want to go. And so I think it's a relevant topic, and I'm so excited to hear the speakers tonight. Are you excited? Like,
let me hear it. Let me hear it. Yes. So we got an exciting night ahead of you. We have 13 of the best speakers of the year coming down to throw down. And the way the night is going to look like, it's going to start off with the first 7 speakers, and then we're going to take a 10-minute break. And then we're going to come back, go into the last 6 speakers, and do something what we call Passion Speed Share. Passion Speed Share started back in the day when we were doing live events, and it was an opportunity for people in the audience to jump up on stage and share, to help people face their fear of public speaking. And because this is the Grand Slam, we made it an opportunity for people to really shine and have something prepared. So we picked the 5 people that had entered prior to the competition, and I will be pulling those people up. And then finally, we'll jump right into the winning ceremony, where we will celebrate the top through speakers of the night. So let's first meet our judges.
I am so thrilled to announce this powerful and eclectic group of judges. First up, we have Joel Hukaluk, the CEO and founder of Motiversity.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. I'm Joel, as announced. I'm the CEO and founder of Motiversity. Motiversity is one of the largest motivational media companies on YouTube. Our brands include Motiversity, Motivation to Study, TNH Inspiration, and Motivation Hub. All of our brands are focused on creating videos and content that inspire and empower people to believe in themselves and achieve their greatest potential. And so what we do full time is listening to inspiring speakers like the ones we'll be listening to tonight, and really excited to hear everyone. Good luck to everyone.
Can I say something, Joel? I got you because of your speeches and your platform. When I was starting, I was listening to your stuff, and so thank you. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Yes, that's awesome.
Wonderful. Next, we have Reina Yu, the senior video producer at A+.
Hi, everyone, and good evening from New York. My name is Reina Yu, and I'm a senior video producer for A+. A+ is a positive and solution-based journalism outlet founded by Ashton Kutcher and currently acquired by Chickens for the Soul company. As a video producer, I truly believe in the power of positivity and inspirational stories. Speaker Slam has been our great partner for the past couple of years, and we're so grateful to be able to occasionally share the heartwarming, empowering, and inspirational speeches on our platform. I'm so honored to be a part of this amazing event, and thank you so much for having me here tonight. I'm very excited.
Thank you, Reina. And next up, we have Tabitha Rose. Tabitha is the founder and chief inspiring officer of Life to Paper Publishing.
Hi, Gina. Hi, Jen. Hi,
Hey,
everybody. I'm coming in hot from Miami. It's so good to see everybody. Speaker Slam is family. That's why I'm so happy to be here. This event is the Christmas of events. So it's like super exciting. I am sitting now in the Life to Paper Book Festival space, and Life to Paper Publishing is an independent publishing house which helps diverse, mission-driven, heart-centered individuals to put their life to paper and reach and inspire audience and readers. And so many of our authors have stepped on the Speaker Slam stage, and that's why this truly is family, and I'm so happy to be here.
Thanks, Tabitha. Send us some sunshine, would you?
Yeah. Always.
And next in person tonight, we have Kika Desputa, who is a 50-time award-winning marketer, professional keynote speaker, and founder of The Art of Lifing.
Thank you so much, Gina. Thank you. It's so good to see everybody here today. I'm here representing the Canadian Association of Professional Speakers. I am on the board of directors and the marketing chair of the Toronto chapter. And I'm so excited to hear these stories about rebirth today. In the face of adversity, the biggest thing you can do is actually face your own truth and share yourself with the world, right? So I'm excited to see that.
Wonderful. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thank you.
So wonderful. Next, we have Brian Miller, who's a TED-style speaker coach and messaging consultant. Hey, Brian.
Hello, it's so great to see you all again. I am, my name is Brian. I'm the founder of Conquer the Red Dot, where I help aspiring TEDx speakers land and deliver the talk of their lives. I myself spent 10 years as a full-time magician, but when my own TEDx talk went viral in 2015, like mega viral, I was reborn as an international keynote speaker. And now it's my privilege to take the world's most inspiring people and just walk them down that path to the red dot. So it's an honor to return to the Speaker Slam judges table and just everybody have an awesome, fun time tonight.
Oh, love that. Thank you for being here. Next, we have Selena Sue, the founder of Impacting Millions. Hey, Selena.
Hey, hello everyone. So great to be here with you all. I'm joining you from beautiful Puerto Rico, and I am the founder of Impacting Millions, and we're a company that helps entrepreneurs and experts reach more people through the media, whether it's podcasts, magazines, TV, and more. And I'm so thrilled to be here with you tonight.
Thank you so much. And finally, we have Nita Bhushan, the co-founder of Dharma Coaching Institute. Hey, welcome.
Hello everyone. Oh my goodness. So excited to be here from Austin, Texas tonight. First, I want to say good luck to everybody participating. I know I had my start about a decade ago when I shared my story and my truth. So this is super exciting for you all. And so much so that I founded 2 companies that help people, Dharma Coaching Institute, that helps people step into and live their Dharma and help other people live theirs, as well as Global Grit Institute, where we provide the business training for speakers, coaches, and authors. So I am beyond excited to be one of the judges here and so honored to be with you tonight.
Thank you so much to everyone. We love having you here. Dan?
Wow. Thank you to all the judges for being here and a part of our night. One of the things that we are doing is really building the dreams of our speakers, and you are providing that dream whether it's writing books, getting on media, getting on those TED stages, professional speaking, you're a part of that dream. And so I want to say great gratitude for that. And let's put that screen up because I have some housekeeping to do with y'all. Please turn down your phones, silent. We don't want any ringing to happen. Next up, if you're at home, make sure to comment. We are able to now display that onto the screen. So we want to show our speakers the love that you're showing them and what inspired you from their experience. And then finally, make sure to tag SpeakerSlam, use hashtag SpeakerSlam. We will be drawing a prize after the competition for those who use social media and share about us. And we will also be giving out prizes to you, the audience members, as door prizes donated by the judges. So watch out for that. Yeah. All right. So we have a tradition at SpeakerSlam. When I say speaker, you say slam. Speaker,
Slam.
speaker,
Slam.
speaker.
Slam.
It's your throwdown. Let's go. Woo!
Whether you are live here in studio in the theater or you're at home, the speakers feel your energy. So let's give it up for our very first speaker. We have Emmy Rousseau, Letting Our Dreams Take Flight. Here we go.
In late 2019, 17 years after seeing a woman on stage and thinking, I want to be her next year, I decided to follow my dream of becoming a speaker. I was going to use my voice. 2020 was going to be my year. I know I'm not the only one who felt that way. My dream was to be as big as Mel Robbins, basically sliding in and taking over her demographic as soon as she was ready to retire. Every day, I'd visualize walking across grand stages. It felt amazing, and I knew it was going to happen. And then just as I was getting ready to shine, bam, the pandemic hit and shut everything down, including all stages. But having a growth mindset, I didn't let that deter me. I took every virtual stage I could get my hands on. Today, though, is the very first time since my elementary school speech competition that I am standing on a stage. I'm sure you can imagine how exciting that is for me. Especially since it almost didn't happen. You see, I'm a person who stands for what I believe in, and I stand for unity and against discrimination. So when I heard about the mandate that teachers and healthcare workers would have to be vaccinated or face job loss, I knew I had to take action. It started with a Facebook post saying I was against mandatory vaccines and encouraging people to stand in their truth, no matter which side of this issue they were on. A slew of comments came in, both for and against, and it started a divide in my family that is still yet to be fully healed. But I didn't back down, because when I really believe in something, I'm in it to the end. And boy, was that resolved to be tested. Next on the list of mandated workers, fitness professionals. That's me. I'm a Zumba instructor. I refused to disclose my status, although my kids were telling me to just stop and take care of myself and save my job, but I wouldn't. I lost that income and have since lost another job opportunity over it. It was hard, but it felt right. When the Vax Pass came in, I saw that as just another way to divide, so I chose never to use it. And that way I could not be at in-person events such as these, or even my son's hockey games. It really sucked not to be able to go out much, but I managed until I got this news. The day I found out I could compete at SpeakerSlam was a dream come true. I've been competing all year to get here. And yet at the same time, it felt like my dream was crashing down around me because I couldn't see a way to be here with you and still uphold my morals. I thought that in order to do the right thing, I'd have to be joining you via that big screen. Because since some people couldn't gain access to this theater tonight, neither would I. Tears streamed down my face. My vision of walking across the big stage wasn't going to happen. I had earned my right to be here, and yet I couldn't take it. There was a little piece of me, though, that just held on to hope. I kept asking the question, what else is possible? Hoping that I could get here. And then one evening, a very special friend went for a walk with me and said, I'm just going to play devil's advocate here for a second. Is there any way that you could show your solidarity and still be there? I don't know, I said. Is there? I couldn't think of one. I had lost so much over this already, and all I could think was, do I need to lose this dream too? When it hit me that I absolutely didn't. I was just stuck in fixed thinking. Tonight is not a night of division. Speaker Slam has ensured that everyone can be here, whether virtually or in person, that we could all participate. It's a night of unity, which meant that I could stand here living my dream and still stand with all of you who are going through this. It wasn't an either or choice. In order to be reborn, we have to let something die. It makes space for the new to be birthed. Often it's our mindsets that are holding us back. We get stuck in an idea, or we think that that'll never happen. But when we let those fixed ideas die, we open our mind to limitless possibilities. And that's when our dreams can not only emerge, but take flight. Thank you.
And next up, we have Katie Romagnolo with Conscious Connection in the Womb.
I believe that before we are born into this world, we get to choose the woman who will become our mother. And in choosing mine, I had no idea what she would have to endure to fulfill my wish of being here. Walking through the grocery store aisle, she stops, suddenly frozen in her tracks, heart beating out of her chest. The lawyer who had helped my mother escape only a few months back, now standing in front of her. A lot had changed since then. Quickly turning so as not to be seen, the woman catches my mother in the corner of her eye. Shame, disgust, and disappointment immediately swept through her body the moment they locked eyes. Me, unknowingly growing within her womb. I wouldn't hear this story until 30 years later when I found myself struggling to live, drowning in anxiety and looking for the answers to my problems. Sunken in my seat in mid-session, trying to piece together the root cause of my fear of judgment, the practitioner turns to me and says, "What was life like for your mom during that second trimester of her pregnancy with you?" The chill I felt in that moment was like every cell in my body awakening, a remembering of why I was so terrified to speak to others. But truly, I didn't know the details of what life was like for her at that time. We had been muscle testing for unconscious memories of trauma, and my body was screaming to bring to light a moment I needed to address, a time before I had even taken my first breath. I called my mom later that day, and she opened up to me for the very first time about that difficult period in her life, when she had finally gotten the courage to escape my father, only to learn that she was 3 months pregnant with me and had to return. She shared the story of running into the lawyer that day, had tried to save her life, and how much shame she felt in that moment to be right back with her abuser and now 6 months pregnant with his child. I was formed in those moments. My essence growing within her, swimming in a flood of emotions too much for any woman to bear alone. Shame, fear, and disappointment rushing through our blood. This woman, this brave woman, is who I chose to be my mother. She taught me how to survive because from the very beginning, I had a purpose for my life. I would need everything she would teach me to become who I am today. I wrote my father a letter 3 years ago and told him how hard it was to be a child growing up in his household. How at 13 years old, I would pray each night for God to take me in my sleep. How terrifying it was to listen behind the door of my room to the house being smashed and not knowing once it ended on the other side if my mother would still be alive. As I waited for the dreaded call that day where he would surely shred me down as every other time before, there was silence. When the phone finally rang, he was way too soft-spoken for the man I had known my entire life. In the letter, I had shared that I would no longer be silent, that I wanted to use my story to help others, and that he could expect that I would write a book one day and stand on a big stage. Big claims for a girl with social anxiety. Well, his response revealed why it took him weeks to call me. "I do not give you permission to talk about these things," he said, forbidding me to share my own story. He had contacted a lawyer. This was the response to a child telling her father that she had wanted to kill herself as a little girl. This was the example of fear and intimidation that we had all endured in that household. Well, guess what? This little girl ain't so small anymore, and she sure as hell isn't going to pass that trauma down through our bloodline anymore. This is the version where I get to pick up where my mother left off, where I get to show the world that shame no longer dictates our lives. She taught me to see past the pain and to embrace what's on the other side of fear. I am strong because of her. I am a best-selling author because of her. I am an international speaker because of her. I am here because of her. She chose to have me no matter how hard it made her life, and taught me what unconditional love truly is. And my body needed me to remember that in that session. Sometimes the option we're left with seems like the only one, and in those moments when it feels like all is lost, know that life goes on and searches for the next path out, the path yet traveled. She didn't feel like she had a choice, but I do. I choose to continue our journey together and to stand strong by sharing our story, to take that path less traveled. I walk past that pain today. And Mom, I honor you on this journey for the life you gave me, for the courage you had to keep going despite all odds. Mom, this moment is for you.
Next up, we have Kristen Light, a real showstopper.
Hi, I'm lovely. Thanks. No, I'm not part of some vintage reenactment. And this delicate do serves one purpose and one purpose only tonight: distraction. It's foolproof, really. Like clockwork, even tonight, pals and strangers alike will greet me with some form of, "Ooh, your hair," or "You look like a pinup," and then get lost in memories of that one summer in college when they got really into swing kids. I found this really great concealer too. It covers dark circles, fine lines, and all visible signs of depression for up to 12 hours. It's a funny thing, perception versus reality. I'd perfected this day-to-day cosplay as a fabulous extrovert, one who hosted big parties and basically Jay Gatsby'd my way through adulthood. I'd work the room, crack the jokes, cue the band. Distraction. Eyes on the lies, the persona, the show. If they must see me, at least let them see something pretty. It wasn't until years later, after a rather persistent attempt to take my own life, that I finally admitted to a close friend, the better I look, the worse I'm likely doing. I did my best to hide the truth beyond the facade, the obsessive thoughts of death, oh my goodness, all the different thoughts that I was having, and that deep-seated embarrassment simply for continuing to exist. I hated that charade, the hypocrisy. But here's the thing about major depression. Most of us, despite vain appearances, will give just about anything to protect those around us from the one thing we saw as their biggest threat. Us. As though our relentless despair was somehow infectious, transferable. So many moments and occasions skipped simply because my hair didn't curl right, my dress wouldn't twirl right, or I just couldn't girl right to meet my own impossible baseline. If I wasn't just so, then I didn't go. But protected by my parasol of aerosol, I could float in and out of social halls like a Hollywood chorus mall. More scenery than guests at all, a satin doll with alcohol. But even while devising my own last call, my fixation remained on the perception. When I died, how would I look? Would I be unsightly? Who would find me? Curled up on the cold tile floor beyond a locked hospital door, fresh blood staining my sleeves. My pulse remained, but my perception faded. No setting spray, no cover up. My once jazzy theme song drowned out by an underscored apology. Hi, I'm sorry. Reality had reached out and sucker punched perception into oblivion. Gone were the parties, the pin curls, the persona. Stripped of my secret weapon, deprived of my disguise week after week, left only with the truth. For the first time in years, I exhaled. Here I was, a 2-month-long resident in a blissfully calm psychiatric ward. Nobody agonized over perception here. Why? We were all wearing the same hospital issue blue bathrobe with that Velcro closure. We saw each other as our beautifully valid, actual selves, stripped down. And I didn't infect Anybody? Now, I have nothing against getting gussied up on occasion. It's fun. But when you finally stop sinking hour after hour, manipulating your outsides into a perpetual apology for your insides, you get those hours back. Hours to sleep in for once. This shit takes time. Hours to brew the good coffee in the morning, or hours to just frolic freely about without a single fuck given for the state of your reflection. But for me personally, hours to reconnect with those truly genuine souls that I'd kept sheltered at arm's length for far too long before. They're still there. They're always there. Not for the parties or the persona, but patiently waiting to be introduced to the real person they had a hunch was hiding behind all the pretty packaging. So hi, I'm Kristen, and it's so wonderful to finally meet me. Next up, we have Catherine Clark, Never Speak Again, The Dark Side of Transformation.
I was 30 years old, all alone, with a CAT scan staring me down in a dimly lit Montreal hospital room. My stomach knotted as the surgeon looked me squarely in the eyes and handed me a dark package. You know, the kind of dark package no one ever wants, like a car accident, the death of a loved one, or in my case, a life-threatening tumor. The surgeon pointed to the lime-sized tumor in my throat and said, Catherine, this tumor will take a long time to kill you. And if we try to surgically remove it, you'll probably be paralyzed on the left side and never speak again. In that moment, my brain officially froze. I didn't want to feel the gravity of this news. Never speak again? But that's my superpower, my strength, talking to people, connecting. What would I do for work? How would I communicate? Never speak again? I felt emotionally paralyzed by the mere thought of being voiceless. especially when I just got my voice back. You see, I just left an abusive marriage where I couldn't speak my truth for years. And now this tumor, this mass of cells in my throat was here to silence me again. Could it get any worse? 4 weeks later, I found myself teetering on the edge of the subway platform, deeply depressed, hopeless. I was going to die anyway. I just want to be out of pain. I have to jump. My mother's face flashed before me. I'm so sorry I jumped, Mom. I just didn't want you to suffer through another slow death like you did with Dad. I felt a stranger's arm pull me back to safety. This was not the time for my life to end, but it was the time to start a new life story, a chance for rebirth. It was a chance to let go of all those painful parts that no longer served me. And the first to go was a successful removal of that tumor. I just knew I'd found the right surgeon who would help me keep my voice when he said, "Catherine, this surgery will be one for the record books." And when the lab results came back as benign, we both jumped for joy. And I shouted, "Yes," because I actually could shout. And thank goodness my best friend helped me get the help I needed for clinical depression. And with lots of tears, medication, and therapy, I found out it's okay to just sit with your dark package and feel it all, to heal it all. I also found how to nurture my authentic voice. And little by little, it became louder and clearer until the day arrived when I could look at all of my dark packages as gifts. Yes, gifts that allow you to dig deep, face your fears, and find your inner truth. So I picked up my dark package and I renamed it my dark gift. I quit my job, went back to school, and trained to be a psychotherapist. And for 25 years, I've helped others see the light in their own dark times. And no, life hasn't been easy. There's been many more dark gifts. But now I say, bring them on. I'm empowered to transform myself again and again, rising above my smoldering ashes, a sensational 60 soaring phoenix. Because the truth is, dark gifts are only going to keep on coming. So we might as well see them as brilliantly disguised packages for our soul's evolution. And they've been hiding in plain sight all along. So we might as well lift the lid, because the world needs each and every one of us to share our voices, share our gifts, and shine.
Next up, we have Benjamin Weo. I'll do it for you.
Courage. Courage can be a difficult thing to have, especially when it is most needed. Picture this, a cold Sunday morning, early in the morning, at a hospital somewhere in West Africa. I am waiting outside the delivery room for the birth of my very first child. Now, I wanted to be inside, holding my wife's hand and helping her through it. But the doctor said, hospital policy, young man. You wait out here, and we go in there and do our job. So I waited. But while I was waiting, another woman in labor got everyone's attention, not just by how much she was screaming, but by what she kept saying over and over again. I'll kill him, I'll kill him, I'll kill him. He did this to me, I'll kill him. And she went on, and nothing anyone said could stop her. Finally, the doctor said, who is this guy? And a nurse offered. 1, he's just a boy. 2, they are not in a committed relationship. And 3, he's scared to death. Well, he better do something. She can have complications. And so they hurried and found the boy. And they brought him to the doctor. The doctor said, get yourself together, young man. That's your child about to be born. Now you go in there and support that young woman. Yes, sir, he said, and crept in slowly. But as soon as the door opened and she lifted up her head and saw him, she screamed, I'll kill you! I'll kill you! And he turned and ran out of there and never came back. Indeed, courage can be a difficult thing to have, especially when it is most needed. But it gets worse. Just then, I heard my wife scream my name. And I felt an instant fear that I think I understood what a gazelle feels like when it hears the roar of a lion. I turned and looked at the doctor. He looked at me, and then he said, I think it's only fair that we let you in as well. I said, doctor, hospital policy. He said, no, we'll make an exception. I said, hospital policy. And I realized he wasn't kidding. And I had to make a decision between running away or staying with the ones I loved. Was I the kind of person that could stay in courage or run in fear? Many years back, I heard the story of my uncle and his father who were in a very terrible accident. Now, his father was rescued from the vehicle unconscious, but as soon as he came to, he realized that his son was still in the burning bus. But without hesitation, he fought everyone and ran straight into the fire and rescued his little boy. But sadly, he didn't make it. But today, my uncle, his little boy, stands tall because his father ran to and not away from a terrifying situation. So I took one look at the door from which the screams of my wife were coming from, and I took one look at the exit. And I swallowed hard and walked right into the fire. A few minutes later, I was holding our baby girl. And right there, I became a new person. Because I learned that I may not have enough courage for myself, but I have more than enough for the ones that I love. You may not have enough boldness and ability for what you want to do, but trust me, there's more than enough inside you for the people that you care about. And even now, in these times of uncertainty and craziness, we may not know everything, but we know what to do to protect the people that we love. So I may not know what to do for myself, but I know what to do for you. And I'll do it for you. I'll protect you. I'll do it for you.
Next up, we have Ingrid Palmer. No excuse, no option.
Here, okay. As a child, I had no idea that my view of the world was different. I just thought I wasn't using my eyes properly. Sometimes I would squint in an attempt to exercise the eye muscles and get them to work better. I mean, for the most part, I thought I saw well, but I just couldn't understand why I was always stumbling, walking into things, and falling off steps. Even after I got glasses in grade 3, I still struggled in dim light. Something as simple as moving from the sunlight to the shade or coming from outdoors to in would completely immobilize me. I still struggled to find objects that people told me I was looking right at. And I even walked into doors instead of walking through the doorway. And because of the comedic and slapstick nature of my daily mishaps, the conclusion became that I not only sought attention, but that I didn't pay attention. And despite my resolute denials of playing the clown or having my head up in the sky, my confusion and need for support went unrecognized. Everywhere I went, my protests were met with mocking laughter and stern dismissals. No allowances were made for my responsibilities. And so, for success, I had to rely on being able to reconstruct environments as they appeared to me in good lighting in order to navigate them when my vision was compromised. I learned to glean pertinent information from my mishaps so that I could recalibrate and plan for the next attempt. And I even came up with my own mobility solutions. Instead of walking beside people, I would walk behind them so that I could copy their motions and know when to step down or when to step up. And the more that I had to figure out my own solutions, the better that I got at it. In fact, I went on errands, I completed chores, I navigated school, and I even went to and from the car without any assistance. As a matter of fact, I grew into my life, going ahead despite uncertainty, pushing past fears and tears, but going ahead no matter what. It wasn't until grade 8 that the mystery was solved. I was diagnosed with retinitis pigmentosa, and as it turned out, I have tunnel vision. I lack depth perception, and my eyes didn't adjust to variations in lighting. I knew I wasn't crazy, I remember exclaiming. I sat there filled with a sense of vindication after all the times that I had been accused of pretending or outright lying. But then I also learned that I was slowly going blind, and I was destroyed. I felt that I didn't have a future. But even amidst my sadness, I unconsciously fell right back on what I had always done, forging ahead, not knowing the answers, but figuring things out as I went along. As I continued to push myself, I excelled in school and continued to navigate environments without accessibility devices and without any accommodations. And then one day it hit me. Not knowing the reason for my struggles had always left me with no excuse to give up and no option but to fulfill obligations. I confronted adversity every single day because I never considered the notion of choice, only the question of how followed by effort. I realized then that my visual acuity had nothing to do with anything about my future. It was only another characteristic of who I was. When that truth washed over me, I felt rejuvenated and renewed to purpose. Not having any alternative to achievement and progress had characterized my life before the diagnosis, and afterwards it would play an even bigger role in my life. Through hard work, I graduated from high school with honors, went on to college with honors, and finished my university degree, and then later on held influential positions in different sectors. By regulating my goals to mandatory and pursuing them relentlessly, I moved myself from struggle to success to significance. What could be possible for you if you gave yourself no excuse and no option and every day took a step in the direction of your goals? Sometimes we have to die to a limiting perspective in order to be regenerated into a mantra that pursues possibility. And when we make our dreams non-negotiable, then achievement is absolutely achievable. No excuse, no choice.
Next up, we have Donald Carr, Rebirth, the Third Miracle.
E equals MC square. Beautiful people blinded by the light. I am a human becoming. My story began before Donald was born. His birth was not my beginning. Before my soul entered this brief moment of life called the present, I was a chrysalis, imbibing angel food cake by osmosis in a magical jelly belly aquatic paradise. Inside this chemical crucible adorned with a cranium halo, time performed her carbon miracles with the accidental and fortuitous concurrences of atoms, gene cascades, and colliding molecules. One enchanted evening, a mountain of flesh heaved, and lo, within a pair of minutes, from between banks curly with ferns, the egg that pleasure laid in a spasm sparkled mother naked out of a wine red sea into this garden paradise of earthly delights. Time in her pain birthed a son, a creature of flesh and blood touched with a fever called living. Sweat-born flesh shivered all over. It realized that in this brief loan of a body, it was once again caught up in the age-old pressure of living in the flesh, magnificently unprepared for the long littleness of life. Being born is a shock from which I am always in recovery. I may still burn up on re-entry. So beware, time eats her young. I was a victim of a series of accidents, as are we all. Nature blessed me with a Jamaican birth. As you can see, I'm sun-kissed. In my green age, I attended school in twig huts. Ruby-throated hummingbirds sang on the rooftops as knowledge ravished my mind with wisdom. It was the best of times. My energy was delight squared. Eternity, an hour that the wind blew back again. Each day was a dream that was dying, or one that was coming to birth, to be or not to be. What is the price if I chose to be? That was the question. Do I dare disturb the universe? My mind entertained the hope to be wise, only to be told 1,000 times otherwise. No, 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 you're not Prince Hamlet. No, was bound, no, was meant to be. Kiss your great expectations goodbye. Yes, it was Dickens of a times. But I had Lucifer on speed dial. The future gleamed on the horizon. Adolescence overtook me in Toronto. It was the dawning of the age of Aquarius, age of Aquarius. A jump-up country boy who didn't know his place. I rushed in where even angels fear to tread, only to be used, refused, and abused by smiling faces. Hell is other people, and there is no exit. Self-esteem took a big hit. Talents unhonored became talents at war. Rage, a constant companion. One purple bruised soul pawned in exchange for oblivion. Even Jesus wept. But the human soul is indestructible. The power of love transformed my rage into courage and triumphed over adversity, sufferings, and injustices. Successes were not without rewards. This child of nature evolved into an intelligent black man. Telling the truth regardless of the cost. The fact that I have lived is not what counts. It's the difference I have made to the lives of others that will determine the significance of this life I lead. Heaven is right here on earth. Only those Homo sapiens who don't know it as yet seeks to live. Life is a course in miracles. Do you remember the time in the beginning? Once upon a long ago time, before time was time, the pregnant universe in an immaculate conception birthed matter into existence from out of nothingness. The first miracle ever. If you would have been there to witness this, you'd have seen absolutely nothing. Do you remember the time 10 to 100,000 billion years ago? But who's counting? Sweet life arrived. Eggs fertilized, colonized, multiplied. Life evolved to survive. Survival of the fittest colonized the serpent-haunted seas. Behold the second miracle. Do you remember that time? Time marches on, or maybe time flies. Lava sheds shells and disappear. Shell shock lavas behind wondered, where the hell did Michael Jackson go? But none returned to tell, except one lava named Lazarus returned to tell, but he didn't tell, not even a whisper. To cut a long story short, here comes the third miracle. A chrysalis evolved into a new light of air. Exoskeleton splits open. A dragonfly takes wings and flies away. Behold, rebirth. Will wonders ever cease? Beautiful people blinded by the light, smiling in the dark. The acts of love creates a baby. Such is the miracle of birth. We are always beginning. Love is a constant. It's not something we invented. It's what makes us human. Death is not end. It is the most profound aspect of life. Bones need bare flesh. So love as if your life depends on it. For God's needs kisses. And in the universe, we all deserve each other. So love as if your life depends on it. It does.
was the first half. What did you think? Make some noise. I'm inspired already, and I'm so excited. We have 6 more speakers, and they're going to be taking up the second half. Originally, I told you the audience had an opportunity right now to win some prizes, and I'm coming through. I got some prizes for you. I got some prizes donated by the judges. So let's find out what the judges have donated for you to take home as a door prize. First up, 1 ticket to Impacting Millions Live. This is Selena Sue's signature event. And let me tell you, she is a PR expert. I was given one of her calendars passed down by Mike Sherman to me. And my God, this woman was literally giving so much value on pitching to media. It was insane. And so I think anyone getting this who's interested in getting media, this is an event to be at. So we have a wheel that we've set up as well that we will be sharing that has all your names on there. Yes, all your people have donated, have given us your names. So they're going to be on a wheel that will be put up very shortly. How are you guys doing? How are you feeling? Yeah. So if you look right over here, we have all your names here, and we're going to spin it. Let's spin that wheel. Yeah. Okay. Isaac Kessler! Yeah, congratulations. Meet me during the break, and I will give you your prize, Isaac Kessler. All right, let's find out what the second prize to give away is. We have the large canvas painting donated by Motiversity. If you've been to their website, it's all motivational things, and they have a sweet products. This is good stuff, y'all. And someone's going to be able to put some motivational things inside their home, and you just get it because you attended. Hey, that's a good gift. Let's spin that wheel. Da-da-da-da-da. What do we got? Sean Berman! Congratulations! Come see me in the front. And then finally, we do have another gift. It's for Speaker Slam. We have a beautiful speaker journal that we've created that we're giving away. And then plus, we're going to give away 1 month free at Emerging Speakers. And for those of you who don't know what Emerging Speakers is, it is the #1 inspirational speakers program out there. And we are so excited because great things are happening. People are getting on media, they're getting outside, going on stages, and they're building their brand, they're building their confidence. And we're super excited to have one of you join us for a month. So without further ado, let's spin that wheel. Let's go. Julia Goose, please see me at the front. That concludes our door prizes. What's going to happen next is make sure you go out and tag Speaker Slam on social media because we're about to take a 10-minute break. I'll see you in 10 minutes. Yeah. Kiss me till you're drunk and I'll show you all the moves like Jagger. I've got the moves like Jagger. I've got the moves like Jagger. I don't need to try to control you. Look into my eyes and I'll own you with them moves like Jagger. I've got them moves like Jagger. I've got them moves like Jagger. Baby, it's hard when you feel like you're broken and scarred.
me. I'll make you believe that I've got the key. Oh, so get in the car. You can ride it wherever you want. Get inside it. You wanna steer, but I'm shifting gears. I'll take it from here. Oh yeah, yeah, and it goes like this. Take me by the tongue and I know you. Kiss me till you're drunk and I'll show you all the moves like Jagger. I've got the moves like Jagger. I've got the moves like Jagger. I don't need to try to control you. Yeah, look into my eyes and I'll own you with the moves like Jagger. I've got the moves like Jagger. I've got the moves like Jagger.
You wanna know how to make me smile? Take control on me just for the night. And if I share my secret, you're gonna have to keep it. Nobody else can see this. So watch and learn. I won't show you twice. Head to toe, ooh, baby, run it right. And if I share my secret, you're gonna have to keep it. Nobody else can see this.
And it goes like this. Take me by the tongue and I know you. Kiss me till you're drunk and I'll show you all the moves like Jagger. I've got the moves like Jagger. I've got the moves like Jagger. I don't need to try to control you. Look into my eyes and I'll own you with the moves like Jagger. I've got the moves like Jagger. I've got the moves like Jagger.
Come on, baby, and drop it. Scrub the floor and just mop it. Show these gangsters how you pop lock it. Don't care what you got in your pocket. I beat the way that you rockin'.
Passion speech share speakers, report to the front.
While the club crowd are just watching, work it out. Got a gang of cash and it's going all on the ball.
We're in the passion speaker.
And it's
Come
going
down.
fast 'cause I feel like a superstar. Work it out. And you may not have it, you might have just broke the law. Work it out. It's your turn to grab it and I make this whole thing yours. Work it out.
Hey, said our hustlers' work is never through. We making it 'cause we make it move. The only thing we know how to do. Said it's the only thing we know how to do. Work hard, play hard, work hard, play hard. We work hard, play hard, keep partying like it's your job. Work hard, play hard, work hard, play hard. We work hard, play hard, keep partying like it's your job. Ew.
I'm fresh to death looking plush. Ladies can't get enough. Got my fitness on looking buff. And all my people with my trust. Holding down for my city. If they're asking you, I'm not guilty. Only thing that I'm guilty of is making you rock with me. Work it out. Got a gang of cash and it's going all on the ball. Work it out. And it's going fast 'cause I feel like a superstar. Work it out. And you may not have it, you might have just broke the law. Now work it out. It's your turn to grab it and I make this whole thing yours. Now work it out.
Hey, said our hustlers' work is never through. We making it 'cause we make it move. The only thing we know how to do. Said it's the only thing we know how to do. Work hard, play hard, work hard, play hard. We work hard, play hard, keep partying like it's your job. Work hard, play hard, work hard, play hard. We work hard, play hard, keep partying like it's your job. Hey, said our hustle's work is never through. We making it 'cause we make it move. The only thing we know how to do. Said it's the only thing we know how to do. Work hard, play hard, work hard, play hard. We work hard, play
play hard, keep partying like it's your job. Work hard, play hard, work hard, play hard. We work hard, play hard, keep partying like it's your job. Work hard, play hard, work hard, play hard. We work hard, play hard, keep partying like it's your job. What do you mean? Oh, when you nod your head yes, but you wanna say no. What do you mean? Hey, yeah, when you don't want me to move, but you tell me to go. What do you mean? Oh, what do you mean? Said you're running out of time. What do you mean? Oh, 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 what do you mean? Better make up your mind. What do you mean? You're so indecisive, what I'm saying. Trying to catch the beat, make up your heart. Don't know if you're happy or complaining. Don't want for us to win, where do I start? First you wanna go to the left, then you wanna turn right. Wanna argue all day, make love all night. First you're up, then you're down, and in between. Oh, I really wanna know, what do you mean? Oh, when you nod your head yes, but you wanna say no. What do you mean? Hey, yeah, when you don't want me to move, but you tell me to go. What do you mean? Oh, what do you mean? Said you're running out of time. What do you mean? Oh, 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 what do you mean? Better make up your mind. What do you mean? You're overprotective when I'm leaving. Trying to compromise, but I can't win. You wanna make a point, but you keep preaching. You had me from the start, won't let this end. First you wanna go to the left, then you wanna turn right. Wanna argue all day, make love all night. First you're up, then you're down, and in between. Oh, I really wanna know, what do you mean? When you nod your head yes, but you wanna say no. What do you mean? Hey, yeah, when you don't want me to move, but you do you mean? Oh, baby. Oh, 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 what do you mean? Better make up your mind. What do you mean? Oh, when you nod your head yes, but you wanna say no. What do you mean? Hey, yeah, when you don't want me to move, but you tell me to go. What do you mean? I'll be more straightforward. Oh, what do you mean? Said you're running out of time. What do you mean? Oh, 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 what do you mean? Better make up your mind. What do you mean?
La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Yeah. La 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 la. I want you to love me like I'm a hot guy. Yeah. They thinking of me, doing what you like. So boy, forget about the world, 'cause it's gonna be me and you tonight. Yeah. I wanna make it bad, boy, then I'ma make you swallow your pride.
All right, we are starting in 2 minutes. We are starting in 2 minutes. Please return to your seats. 2 minutes.
The only one that you'll ever love, like I'm the only one who knows you well.
shot, one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted. One moment that you capture it, just let it slip.
Yo, his palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. There's vomit on his sweater already. Mom's spaghetti, he's nervous, but on the surface he looks calm and ready to drop bombs. But he keeps on forgetting what he wrote down. The whole crowd goes so loud, he opens his mouth, but the words won't come out. He's choking how? Everybody's choking now. The clock's run out, time's up, over, loud. Snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. Oh, there goes gravity. Choke. He's so mad, but he won't give up. Daddies, he know he won't have it. He knows his whole back to these ropes. It don't matter. He's dope. He knows that, but he's broke. He's so stagnant. He knows when he goes back to this mobile home. That's when it's back to the lab again, yo. This old rhapsody better go capture this moment and hope it don't do it. Lose itself in the music. The moment you own it, you better never let it go. You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better lose yourself in the music. The moment you own it, you better never let it go. You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better. Soul's escaping through this hole that is gaping. This world is mine for the taking. Make me king as we move toward a new world order. A normal life is boring, but superstardom's close to postmortem. It only grows harder. Homie grows hotter. He blows. It's all over. These hoes is all on him. Coast to coast shows. He's known as the Globetrotter. Lonely roads, God only knows he's grown farther from home. He's no father. He goes home and barely knows his own daughter. But hold your nose, cause here goes the cold water. These hoes don't want him no more. He's cold product. They moved on to the next mo who flows. He knows dove and sold nada. So the soap opera is told. It unfolds. I suppose it's old partner, but the beat goes on. You better lose yourself in the music. The moment you own it, you better never let it go. You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better lose yourself in the music. The moment you own it, you better never let it go. You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better. No more games. I'ma change what you call rage. Tear this motherfucking roof off like two dogs' cage. I was playing in the beginning, the mood all changed. I've been chewed up and spit out and booed off stage, but I kept rhyming and stepped right in the next cipher. Best believe somebody's paying the Pied Piper. All the pain inside amplified by the fact that I can't get by with my 9 to 5, and I can't provide the right type of life for my family. Cause man, these goddamn food stamps don't buy diapers, and there's no movie, there's no Mackay Pfeiffer. This is my life, and these times are so hard, and it's getting even harder trying to feed and water my seed. Plus, see the thought I caught it between being a father and a prima donna. Baby mama drama screaming on it too much for me to wanna stay in one spot. Another damn monotony's gotten me to the point I'm like a snail. I've got to formulate a plot or end up in jail or shot. Success is my only motherfucking option. Failure's not. Mama love you, but this trail has got to go. I cannot grow old in Salem's lot. So here I go, it's my shot. Feet fail me not. This may be the only opportunity that I got. You better lose yourself in the music. The moment you own it, you better never let it go. You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better lose yourself in the music. The moment you own it, you better never let it go. You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better. You can do anything you set your mind to, man. If you can't be right, I do the same thing. I told you that I never would. I told you I changed, even when I knew I never could. Know that
Gina,
Yes.
showtime.
Let's go, baby. Rebirth. What does it mean to be born again in a lifetime? How many times and in how many ways does a soul leave one life and enter a new one? How does a spirit shed its skin and slither time and again into a new existence? How does the kaleidoscope start to shape shift so that the colors of a person rearrange themselves into a new way of being? I believe that we come to rebirth in one of three ways. The first is by choice. We recognize some hard truths that perhaps we've outgrown a relationship, a career, a body, a way of being. The second way is by force, a diagnosis, a death, a divorce, a global pandemic. But I suspect the most common way is option number 3, which is a combination of the first two. The universe grabs us by the feet and drags us, oftentimes kicking and screaming, into a change that, if we're really honest with ourselves, we know we are ripe for. The past 3 years have been just that for me. I started on the Speaker Slam stage. I actually thought when I signed up for this, it was going to be 23 people in a dark, dingy bar. I didn't know that that speech was going to catapult my already sufficient 25-year speaking career into the heavens, into a life that I thought sounded really glamorous, but turned out to be quite frightening. But I enjoyed the ride. I was caught up in the movement, the book, being on stages with women that I had read feverishly. I was on a global tour across North America, South America, Europe, planning Australia. I was actually in Paris, France on tour when the pandemic hit. And so, of course, I came home and everything was canceled. On a tour, you book basically for a year. So there were canceled flights and canceled venues and canceled tickets. But what I really had to come to terms with was my canceled identity. I was surprised that it started in my business and my public life and bled into my personal life. I spent the first 3-4 months under the covers, only coming out to eat nachos, chocolate-covered almonds, and talk to my best friend, Rena. We often romanticize rebirth. We talk about the caterpillar emerging a butterfly, but rarely do we talk about all the times the caterpillar and the butterfly want to go back, want to crawl back into the cocoon, the old way of being that's so much safer. And I had so much resistance to all the changes in my life. We don't talk about the wobbly knees and the sweaty armpits and the sleepless nights. You see, rebirth, it's not about this beautiful transformation. It's about evolution and the revisiting of our rebirth every day, countless times a day sometimes. And so I want to invite you to ask yourself some questions. What in my life have I rebirthed in the past 2 years? What in my life have I resisted rebirthing in the past few years? And dare I look at my current rebirth through new eyes and choose courage over fear, curiosity over the unknown? I don't know what's ahead, but what I do know is that going forward is the only best choice. And so without further ado, I want to bring up our next speaker, Ken Hall, The Shockin' Redemption.
I'm 19 years old and I'm standing outside Mimico Correctional Center. I'm about to go to jail. No, not like that. Let me explain. No, I'm a visitor. not a resident. See, I'm in my first year of college and taking the social service worker program at Centennial. And as part of this, we get to do a class field trip. And a lot of our prospective future clients are going to be people that have gone through the criminal justice system. Now, Mimico itself is a medium security prison, meaning that all of the people out of the hundreds of inmates that they house, everyone here has been sentenced to 2.5 years less a day or anything less than that. And I got to say, walking into prison, there's a particular feeling that you get. And you become very aware of your surroundings. There's a cold concrete that curls around you. There's a chain link fence adorned with razor wire. There's guards that are marching, looking very intimidating. There's no disguising. Prison is dreary, depressing, and it feels dangerous. And the prison guards were escorting us through various buildings that day. And we went into one building. We stepped into what's called a range. And a range is just very like a large cell that houses between maybe 12 to 20 people stacked on bunks. And there's a hallway. The bars are on the left. We're walking down. I hear my name being called from the other side of those bars. And I hear, "Hey, Kenny, what's up, man?" That's my buddy, JJ. And JJ is a very tall, lanky, very high-strung kind of guy. He's got tattoos. He's got a tattoo of an eyeball on his elbow. And I'm like, "Hey, JJ." And I kid you not, just mere moments after that, I hear my name being called for a second time behind those bars. "Hey, Kenny, man, what's happening?" That's my friend Peter, who's also very tall and lanky. He doesn't have any tattoos. He's got long shoulder-length hair, and he's sort of like still stuck in the 70s a little bit. And so I go over to them, and I'm shaking their hands as if I'm running for mayor. And I'm quickly reprimanded. "You cannot touch the inmates." I found that out. I did not realize that. And so this the prison guard is getting his way. "Bye, guys." And then I hear JJ go to Pete and be like, "You know this guy?" And Pete's like, "Yeah, man, that's my buddy." Yeah, those are my friends. That's my social network right there. And maybe that's a story for another time. They didn't even know each other, which was hilarious. It was like a Hallmark moment right there. And I didn't realize that as I was leaving that day, a literal prison, I was stepping into a figurative one. Merely days after that, I developed some very significant mental health issues, very debilitating anxiety and real crushing depression. And I didn't see that coming. It made me feel really, really bad. Now, I don't know. There's people here that have experienced really significant anxiety or depression in your life, but it really feels like you're doing time, like you're doing hard time in your mind with no escape. And for me in my life, I just felt bad. I couldn't work. So I had to go on welfare. Then I went on disability. And then I drank a lot, which made me feel good. Until the next day, which made me feel twice as bad. And I just kept repeating that cycle, bad after bad. Bad begets bad. And it was like there was a judge and jury in me that had somehow, at some point, I committed crimes. And now I was being sentenced to a life that I did not choose. And I realized something too. When you think of a jail or an institution, something like that, tell me, what is something positive that can grow in a system that is designed to punish? And I realized that it took me a while to check this out, to realize that if you plant negative, you get negative, and vice versa. If you plant positive, chances are you're going to get positive back. The math is simple. It's an easy equation. You might not get that payoff today, but it's going to be down the road, possibly. In my late 20s, I realized I needed to make some big changes because my life was going down big time. My 20s were lost. They were wiped out. So I decided to quit drinking. And within that, even just the fact that if you just stop planting negative seeds, just stopping alone, then you allow a space to grow. And if you think about all of the stock and surplus of all the negativity that you have absorbed in your entire life, that begins to dwindle. That begins to go down. And that sentence that I felt that I'd been living was starting to get shorter and shorter and shorter. until I realized, if you plant positive seeds, things can change. And so I started planting some positive seeds. I started volunteering at a youth shelter. I did that for a year, positive seeds. I started working part-time, planting some seeds, positive. Started taking creative writing night school classes, started doing comedy and improv classes. My comedy partner and best friend, Isaac, is here. He won an award earlier. Congratulations, buddy. Positive seeds. Hannah, my friend, is here. Amazing. People watching at home, amazing. Positive seeds until that time gets reduced. So I stand before you here today. I've done my time. I have served my sentence and then some. And I know with certainty that it was not far off the mark that I could have been behind those bars with JJ and Pete easily. Or worse yet, I may not have made it out of my 20s. And so I think of the great words of Andy Dufresne, one of my favorite movies of all time, The Shawshank Redemption. And I'm going to get busy living. And my question that I want to leave with you today is, what have you planted today that's going to change your tomorrow? And if it isn't something positive, get busy planting. Thank you. Thank you.
Juliana Botsman, Mirror of the Soul.
Bathrooms, the scene of so many life-changing stories. It makes sense, though. It's the place where we go to get rid of all that stinks and strip ourselves down and cleanse and renew ourselves every day. It was August 2009, and I'm 7 weeks pregnant. I'd only found out days earlier. I felt like I was somewhere between heaven and earth, no longer where I was and not yet where I will be. Bent over in my tiny basement bathroom, midnight purple walls. For years, this place felt like a tomb I had trapped myself in. But tonight, it began to feel like a womb. 7 weeks pregnant, and I'm bulimic. Binging and purging every day for the last 8 years, keeping it a secret from everybody, including my then husband, who I'd been married to for 8 years at the time. He'd gone to bed, and my nightly ritual began, stuffing myself full of false pleasures, hoping to feel everything and nothing at the same time. Secretly devouring food I'd hidden in corners of the house that never made it on the grocery bill. Disgusted with myself, drowning in shame and secrets. This pressure in my stomach building, and this pain in my soul aching. I did it again. Kneeled over the porcelain white toilet, I threw it all up. And tonight it would be for the last time. Wiping the spit and vomit from my mouth, my throat raw from bile. I'm tasting the salty tears running down my face. Who had I become? I was the girl who knew who she was, who spoke up when something was off, who stood up to the bully who broke into my locker and stole my paper and tried to hand it in as her own. I was the one that had the tough conversations, made the tough decisions to leave situations that weren't right for me anymore. The bulimia for me was not about vanity. So what was it? Looking in the mirror, I saw a split soul. Tears distorting my view and clearing it at the same time. I was living a life that looked vibrant and alive and confident on the outside, while slowly dying on the inside from abandoned dreams and all the ways I had lied, cheated, and betrayed myself and others. I just stood there staring, numb, disillusioned, and disbelief hanging over me. I just kept staring. For the first time in my life, I wasn't looking away. I was going to see all of it until I could see me again. Years earlier, I had gone through this exercise to define my purpose. My purpose? To use my passion and determination to inspire others to realize their purpose. I knew my purpose, but I wasn't fully living it. And now I had this soul growing its body inside my body, and my soul was being given a direct assignment to fulfill its purpose, starting with this miracle. And everything began to change. I felt this sudden current move through me and this rising conviction. This is not who I am. I am not going to be 9 months pregnant and puking, not from nausea, but from my own self-destruction. And the divine mother in me was awakening. And I felt this connection to a power so much greater than me. And the self-hatred and the emptiness began to transform into compassion and devotion. And I felt this soft voice. You're loved and safe. Naked, new, fragile, and free. Wide open eyes. I'm ready, I heard. I'm being born anew. I walked out of that basement bathroom that day and I never went back. I began to create new rituals, ones of daily renewal. And in the same way that I lovingly and consistently cared for my newborn, I would care for myself. And I would go back and look in that mirror, and I still do every day. And I see myself, the good, the bad, the mess, and the miracle. And as I transform the way I see, that which I see transforms. And when I do this within myself, I get to see everyone and everything as new. And together we became and become free to be exactly who we are here to be.
Spelling required.
I gazed at my reflection as I put on the powder pink dress in the mirror. I felt like Baby from Dirty Dancing, and I did a little twirl. I couldn't wait to show my boyfriend my dress. If I felt this magical already in this dress, how would I feel once I got his praise and admiration? I stepped out of the bedroom and I did a twirl. That's what you're wearing? What are you trying to do? Get the attention of another man? That's way too sexy. You should go change. My heart sank. I feel good in this, and I don't have time to change. I could feel the tension in the air and the anger and disdain seeping from his pores as he drove me to the club to meet my friends. I let it roll off my back. It didn't matter. He'd been so amazing. He was allowed an off day. After all the hurdles and heartbreak, I had finally found that magical relationship I was looking for. I knew because it felt so right, and it'd been going at lightning speed. We'd moved in together just a few short weeks after meeting. Sure, it felt terrible the way he spoke to me when I came out in my dress, but I shoved it down and I chose to focus on the good. How lucky was I? Even though he had to work that night and he couldn't join me, he insisted on dropping me off and picking me up when I went out with my friends. I had such a great time dancing with my friends that I almost forgot about the tension earlier that evening. The dress really was something. I was showered with compliments and attention. Later that night, when he came to pick us up, my friend and I dashed about what a great time we had. She started talking about all of the attention I got. He seemed to smile and laugh about it. And I felt reassured that everything was okay, and earlier in the night had just been an off-color moment. Boy, was I wrong. As soon as she got out of the car, that's when he let his anger out. I told you not to wear that. How many men did you make out with? None. I just went to dance and have a good time with my friends. Well, that isn't really something a woman in a relationship should be doing, and especially not dressed like that. When we got home, it only got worse. He yelled at me and called me a dirty whore as he shoved me into the shower to wash off my filth. In the shower, I let the water wash away my tears and bad feelings and tried to convince myself that everything was okay. My longing to be loved so deep after a childhood of abuse that I was willing to endure anything just to be loved even a little bit. I came out of the shower hoping and praying that things would be better. They weren't. He didn't let me sleep in the bed that night. As I laid on the couch, crying myself to sleep, the pain of wanting to be accepted and the fear of rejection burned so bright that it quashed the gentle voice coming from my soul telling me that no one deserved to be treated that way. A few days later, when he finally broke his icy silence, I just felt so relieved that everything was okay. I brushed aside his bad behavior. I shoved down those hard feelings. After all, I've been abused in my life, really abused, physically abused by my mother. So this didn't count, right? I mean, it wasn't that bad. At least he stayed and tried and was nice most of the time. Walking away from a relationship that isn't serving you when you've been hurt and beaten down can feel like the death of your dream to be loved. But one day I looked in the mirror and I saw the little girl who had yearned for her mother to love her and was taught that love was pain. And she looked back and she saw the woman staring at her that was now accepting pain and abuse. And I decided to grab her hand and say no more and never again. In that moment, I decided to be the hero that she needed. So I threw away all the lies that she'd been told about what love was. And shaking with tears in my eyes, I started to walk past the fear that I would be alone forever. I tore past the idea that maybe not that bad was all that I'd be worried that I'd be worthy of. I ripped past the idea that I had to shrink myself down in order to be loved until I found myself running towards a new version of myself, a newly birthed version that didn't allow others to determine what she deserved. When you can find the courage to shed the destructive beliefs placed on you by others, and let the old version of you die, you create the space for the birth of a new dream, a dream where you are loved fully. No excuses, justification, or settling required.
Daniel Burns, One Tough Cookie.
Have you ever had a moment where you felt like a complete failure? Yes. I was 14 years old the first time that I felt failure. It was the first time that fear had put me in a chokehold so tight, every thought in my mind went blank. I was 14 years old, and I was standing on a stage just like this one, in the grand finals of my very first public speaking competition. And I froze. I was standing there on stage speechless. Yeah, speechless in a speaking competition. That speech ended with me wiping away my tears and exiting the stage feeling completely humiliated. In that moment, my self-confidence was rocked. Now, I don't know about all of you, but in high school, I was short on self-confidence to begin with. I was the fat kid at my school. And when you're the fat kid, you don't get to wear all the coolest clothes, so I wasn't the cool kid. I wasn't the athlete, I wasn't the smart kid, and I definitely wasn't the guy who got all the girls. In high school, like many of you may have felt, I was just trying to figure out, where do I fit in and what could I be good at? And I think that's what hurt the most about failing in that public speaking competition. That's not how I saw it ending. What I pictured was it would end like it does in the movies, you know, with that big standing ovation from the crowd. That would be my winning moment. And I think to myself, well, I found something that I can be great at. But it didn't end that way at all. So what do you do when your dreams don't come true? Well, we all know the old saying, don't we? If at first you don't succeed, go home and eat your feelings away. Okay, that might not be how the saying goes, but that's exactly what I did. I went home and my mom did what my mom always did to make the pain go away. She baked 24 of the softest, fluffiest, meltiest, crumbliest, most delicious chocolate chip cookies. Oh, I took those cookies with me down to the basement and I wrapped them around me like a soft, warm blanket of melted chocolate, and I escaped from all my feelings. And then I indulged in my second favorite escape, movies. Oh, don't you just love how movies can transport you to a whole nother world away from all your feelings? And I love movies like Rocky and The Karate Kid. You know those movies where the lead characters, they had those big comeback moments. In Rocky, you could hear it in the music. It was that dun 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 dun, and then the winning moment came. And those two characters had the qualities that all winners need to be great. They had heart and they had courage. They had the heart to believe in themselves, that they could win. And they had the courage to step in the ring, to face their fears and take a swing at the thing that they loved the most. So tonight, the opportunity for me to face my fears has been reborn. Tonight, all of you are the live audience watching the movie of my life play out. And you know what's different from that first time I failed? Everything. I'm not that scared little fat kid anymore. No, look at me. I'm a grown-ass man with a beard. And even though the fear is still real tonight, and I don't know how this movie is going to end, I'm standing here showing you my heart, showing you my courage, and taking my swing at the thing that I love the most. And if there's one thing I've learned along the way, it's this. We can't escape our feelings, and we can't undo our failures. So if you have ever felt like a failure, if you have ever swung big and missed, if you've ever been told you're too fat, you're too short, you're too tall, if you've ever been told the dream won't happen, that your movie, it's not worth being made, I say to you, don't let someone else write your script. It's your movie, it's your story, it's your life. And that leading role, it's meant for you. All you need is heart and courage. And if fear knocks you down, you get back up. Because you are one tough cookie. Incoming! Incoming! Incoming!
Yvette Raposo, learning by doing.
You're going to do what? But how are you going to get a job? Like a real job with benefits so that you can take care of yourself and support yourself. I'm 19 and I just told my mother that I'm dropping out of university to pursue a career in boxing. We are standing in the kitchen face to face, going toe to toe, deliberating about my future. But Mom, boxing is more than just fighting for me. It gives me confidence. It boosts my self-esteem. It gives me focus, direction. It gives me something to practice and improve upon and be proud of. It gives me purpose. I go on to explain all the reasons why I don't want to stay in school to my mother, whose deepest desire when she was my age was to receive a formal education. Before I was born, she immigrated here from a faraway village, growing up at a time when little girls weren't allowed to go to school. My grandfather denied her that right and decided for her that she was going to become a seamstress, just like her mother. So she did. She went on for decades, mastering her craft, working her skills, and building up a reputation as still one of the most highly sought after dressmakers and alterations experts in this country. She created beautiful works of art. She contributed to society possibly in a way that she couldn't have if she had taken a different route. And she still does it with exquisite integrity. Her work is sure to leave behind an impressive legacy. Her name is Fernanda. But all the accomplishments in the world would never erase what is still her biggest regret. I felt so guilty for so long, as if I didn't appreciate this opportunity that I was given that she was denied. Except I love learning. I respect credentials and I value education. I just didn't want to be sitting in a classroom. I knew exactly where I wanted to be. So I enrolled into the School of Hard Knocks. The boxing gym became my lessons. Avoiding punches was my teacher. Instead of writing essays, I was writing my own story. Instead of following a curriculum, I devised a game plan. After being undefeated in competition, I went on for the next 20 years of my career, teaching, leading, speaking, training, inspiring, empowering, changing lives, and even breaking barriers in my sport. In 2018, I became the first ever female professional boxing ring announcer in Canada. Don't you see? Instead of a degree, I was recording my own pedigree. Blood, sweat, and years dedicated to my craft, just like my mother did. Sometimes in life, we box ourselves inside of someone else's square. Sometimes we squeeze into a dress that looks really good, but feels so uncomfortable. No offense, Mom. My mom eventually stopped making me dresses. This woman who gave birth to me sewed this for me. She was showing me all along how to stay true to my birthright, which as adults is to make decisions that work for us instead of working around all the decisions made for us. And she is here tonight. Thank you, Mom.
Marjorie Unos, Once Upon a Second Time.
Once upon a time were my 4 favorite words as a little girl. Every night at bedtime, I would pull my covers over my chin and wait for my mom to come by. After a few minutes of excitement, she would walk in, tuck me in tight, and coyly ask, do we have time for a story tonight? Yes, yes, please, Mama. Please read me a story. She would smile back at me as she knew of the beautiful moments we were about to spend together. And all those precious moments always started with those 4 magical words, once upon a time. Like many little girls of my generation, the first stories my mom told me about were of Cinderella and Sleeping Beauty. Stories about these young ladies who faced several challenges in their lives. The way those original stories were told led little girls like me to believe that to be happily ever after, we needed to be rescued. Challenges and adversities are part of life, that we grow up in fairy tales or in real life. Like many of us, I had my share of them. I saw my cousin fight cancer. I struggled with the death of my father. And I had to roll up my sleeves after a car accident rendered me paraplegic. Of course, like those heroines of my childhood stories, I was called to overcome those obstacles, follow the yellow brick road, back home to that sense we call normalcy. But somewhere along my journey to Emerald City or back home to my palace, I got stuck. I got stuck in the stories I told myself. Stories about this pitiful, ugly little duckling who couldn't manage life on wheels. If those stories were based on facts of my life, the way I recounted them always was from the stance of a powerless victim, reinforcing how hopeless and helpless I had been feeling. Imagine the worst moments of your life when everything falls apart. Now imagine someone telling you over and over again how horrible this is, how useless you are, how your whole life is now scrap. In recounting our stories, we all wish to be the hero, but in doing so, we often forget about the one person, often hidden from view, that is as essential, if not more. The narrator. The narrator is like a great wizard. When the hero goes on its journey, the narrator observes and guides us through with a wider view, shaping how the story is being told, crafting the storyline to make us feel mad or sad, or to make us laugh and feel happy. Now, the narrator doesn't change the plot line. He or she only tells the facts in a way that will lead us to the lessons learned. In my story, my cousin died of cancer, but my narrator tells about the 4 years she spent packing in all those beautiful memories with her children. And yes, in my story, my dad died before him and I could mend our relationship. But in providing me with a different perspective, I was able to forgive and be forgiven. And yes, there's that car accident and the depression that destroyed everything in its way. But my narrator reminds me that I am still here, living life with the love of my life, my son Thomas. With the transformative power the narrator holds, my stories became of courage and beauty. But the trick is, the narrator is you and me, which means no one's coming to save us but us. Sleeping Beauty has to wake herself up, and Cinderella can put her own damn shoe. The end doesn't have to be, as the narrator knows there is more to be said, and we all have the potential to tell those stories, gifting us with the ability to see our journey differently, and even tease a sequel. Now go on, tap your heels 3 times and circle back to once upon a second time, to a place where we could begin again.
do not entertain. That was the Grand Slam speakers dropping it like it's hot. And I appreciate all of you. Those were some inspiring messages. And I was really hoping to get those cookies thrown at me and get it. But now we're about to get into something even more exciting. The Passion Speeches! That's right! Face your fear of public speaking right now by having regular people just like you and me coming up, facing their fear. First up, Anya Simmons, come on up!
My vagina is a shell. A round pink. What? What? No, I'm not saying that. No, I don't think I can be part of the play. I'm British. We don't say those things, at least not out loud. Have you had those moments where you don't leap out of your comfort zone, but you take a massive jump, no safety net, no backup plan, and you have no idea how it's going to look, how it's going to end? I cried almost every day learning that monologue. I was so frozen with fear. What will people think? What if I mess up? I'm too old for this. But you know that feeling when you did it? That feeling when it's over and you stand there, more you, a bigger, better version of you. I was no longer just the mom supporting everyone else's dreams. I was more me, the me I had been seeking for some time. So just do it. Go say yes and do that thing.
Nice. Yeah, just walk on that. Can I have Tomas and Patricia come to the front if you want to participate? All right, let's meet our next speaker, Alicia!
I can remember it like it was yesterday. Called into work on my day off, I was escorted into this tiny boardroom, and the words that came out of her mouth next penetrated through me like a knife in my chest. We're terminating your employment without cause. It's just not working out. My jaw hit the floor. I was absolutely crushed. And now I'm 24, and in 2 weeks' time, 4, if I sign the retainer agreement, I would be without income. I felt like a complete failure. And my deepest fear? How would I become a police officer now? Immediately, I called my best friend, and she did what sisters do best. D, I'll see you at 6 p.m. We're getting drunk. I'm just kidding. Alcohol is absolutely not the solution to your problems. And I can say that because I grew up in that environment. But what I did do is I went to the police station and I cried in the arms of my greatest mentor in life, a police officer that I shadowed when I was in college. I then went to my therapy appointment, and subsequently, I went for dinner and maybe had a beverage or two. But the next morning, I picked myself back up and I called one of my previous employers. Happy to rehire me, I was unemployed for only 20 days, a true testament of how important it is not to burn your bridges if it's within your control. And for the next 7 months, I worked my ass off for 60 hours a week at just $14 an hour just to make ends meet. And then on one beautiful day, I received a call from the Ontario government. We would like to make an offer of employment. Will you accept? I couldn't sign those papers fast enough. I've since been employed as a correctional officer for 4 years, and while that presents its own challenges at times, 2 things remain to be true. 1, life can try to knock me down, but I will stand up each and every time. And 2, while I'm not a police officer yet, mark my words, I will be, because this girl, she's not a quitter.
Yeah, good job. Woo! So you do it, just come up here and share. So next time we do another Speaker Slam, sign up for a passion speech share. Next up, can I bring up Tomas Ohanas?
Hello, good evening, everybody. My name is Tomas. He missed the part. Tomas Ohanesian. And in case you're wondering who's this guy with a weird name, weird face, weird accent, I'm a weird guy. My parents were Armenian immigrants to Buenos Aires, Argentina, where I was born and raised. And then myself, I became an immigrant to Canada. How many of you think that we could be rebirthed more than once? Yes. Well, I was reborn many, many times, but with 2 minutes, I only time to share 2 stories. First one was when we decided to move my wife, who's my lovely wife, Claudia, who's here. I'm so happy that she's here tonight, so thank you very much. Give a shout to her, Claudia, I love you. The first time big rebirth was when we decided to leave Argentina. We saw there was no future, economically speaking, and we said, you know what, we have to change. And I think that every time that we change is when we are born again. We let go of our old self and we create a new self. We were so excited. We were coming to Canada. Oh my God. That country in the map that looked all white and we didn't know what it was. And we're so excited. We just wanted to start again. And nothing was happening. We couldn't find jobs. The recession was declared, was right in 1990, for those of you old enough to know. And I told Claudia, I think we brought bad luck to Canada. I'm the fault. Now Canada is in recession because of me. And she said, no, honey, don't worry. You're not bad luck. You have me, I have you. That's all we need. And that's so true. I will do all over 100 times again. Anyhow, I started working in a local supermarket. And at the very beginning, I was at the back shuffling milk and eggs. And then 2 months later, they promoted me to the main floor. The manager came and says, Tomas, now you're going to be in charge of aisle number 4. Oh my God, I was so proud. I was in charge of the juices, the coffees, and the milk. And he said to me, everything that happens in this aisle is your responsibility. Done, no worries, you got it. 2 weeks later, he comes and says, Tomas, you have a mice infestation in your aisle, and it's your responsibility to kill it. I said, what? And if you've never seen a family of mice when they're just born, they're so cute. I felt so bad for killing them. And that was my second rebirth moment. I said, no, I have to let this go, no matter what, do something else. No matter if I took a pay cut and I left the job. Fast forward a few decades, I was rebirthed many, many, many times. Finally, now I'm working as a financial planner for highly successful business owners, and I'm helping them save millions of dollars in taxes, which makes me very proud. So the moral of the story is that change is, there are 2 things that provoke us to change, pain or pleasure. And when you reach a point that, you know, I cannot go any further like this, you say, you know what, it's time for me to move on and change. So we have listened so many good stories today of people that have reborn, changed, went for trouble, tribulations, and succeeded. That it only, and if I interview each and every one of you, I am 100% sure that you have the same stories, because all of you are people that are able to be reborn again. So I'm telling you that by the grace of God, the power of the universe, believing in ourselves, if we work hard, resiliently, put the best enthusiasm, hard work, fall down, stand up, just like Rocky, you know, no matter what, we will be reborn. Thank you very much. Stand up and applause, come on. Thank you.
All right, let's meet our next speaker, Patricia Wright.
So my story starts off with a concept I call praise and destroy. So my profession is registered nurse. And as you can know, that's been pretty tough lately. But I'm going to dial it back to the fact that we always have to upgrade ourselves. So I'm taking this course in university, and I have gone through a serious incident in nursing where I need to express what's happening to me. The course asks us to develop our philosophy of nursing. So I used this situation in the paper, and like any other paper, you hand it in, you're expecting whatever kind of feedback. This professor, when she's handing the papers, decides she needs to see me. So I'm like, okay, so you're thinking, oh my God, my paper sucks. It needs some kind of rework, all that kind of stuff. Takes me outside of the classroom. So it makes you even feel like even worse, like, oh my God, this is just not gonna turn out very well. But I get the whole, oh, you know what? Your paper was so good. I never give anyone an A in the class, but I gave you an A-, and the whole praise. So you're thinking, okay, this has got to be really, really good. But then what she does is she says, but. How many of you have been there? Right. But, I had to put the paper down several times because it was just so emotional. Like I couldn't read it all at once. Do you think that next time you can maybe find somewhere else to put your emotion? So I'm standing there, and the ghetto person wants to say, oh, hell no. You did not just say what you just said after you said you were going to give me an A. But I stood there, and because of years of fear of exposure, that leads all the way back to my mother saying to me, you're ugly when you cry. People who jump on my voice in the class, so therefore it always led me to sit in the back, never say anything. I looked at this woman and I said to her, you know what? I was an HB before I was an RN. And she's just kind of looking at me like, HB? And I said to her, I go, a human being. I was a human being before I got the letters registered nurse, RN, after my name, which means that I feel, I cry, I jump up and down. As our cookie friend says, sometimes I eat a bucket of ice cream because I'm feeling like crap. All of those things encompass who I am. I didn't plan to check that at the door when I became an RN. My thing of rebirth was, during the pandemic, I actually reinstated my license because I was actually on the way to retiring, to go and help my nursing sisters because I'm a human being. So all I'm leaving you with is, if you are in a position where somebody's asking you to check your human being self at the door, I'm asking you to say no, because there's somebody out there that needs you to be that HB.
Yeah, great job. Woo! We have one more passion speech here, speaker, Mary Brown.
In 1987, I came face to face with a moment in time, just a moment that had a huge impact on my life. Up to that point, I had been struggling, feeling like I was in a boxing ring, not knowing who my opponent was. I had the mental, the physical, and the emotional scars to prove that I was losing. And then the breaking point came when at age 7 months, my baby son died. The ultimate loss. I threw in the towel. I was done, finished. I had hit rock bottom. There was nowhere dark enough or deep enough for me to hide. No good to me, no good to anyone else. And then, 4 years later, 1987, I woke up from an emergency cesarean section, and my baby son was transferred to the intensive care unit at the Sick Children's Hospital, our new home. Flash forward 9 months later. He was now 2 months into a coma. And that dreaded meeting came. We met with the doctors. Mrs. Brown, I'm sorry. We can do no more for your son, Andrew. He may never open his eyes, and if he does, he may not even be able to move his little pinky. I was listening, but I wasn't hearing. The tears were cascading down my face as I put my 2 hands into those little cubby holes in the incubator, and I soothed my son's body. And I took my hands and I wrapped them around my son's little fingers. Was that a movement? Was it my imagination? I scanned his body, his face, and his eyes opened. And there was so much fire and so much life in his eyes, I could only turn to the doctors and say, I will prove you wrong. And I did. I went to every university, every library, everywhere, and I studied the diagnosis. I studied about brain trauma, about how to retrain your brain. And not only did I learn it, I implemented it into our everyday life. Not only did my son Andrew survive, but he thrived. He is 34 years old today, is independent. He's working full time. He has a great sense of humor. Thank God. He's come a long way from being the miracle child of 1987. But even something else happened during that time. It was almost like I was reborn. The more I dug into, the more I tried to help my son, the more empowered I became. And all of a sudden, I was signed into university and I became a teacher and I became an interior decorator. I became a better mom, if that's possible. And I became a better teacher and a better wife. And here I am on stage speaking. I became better. And I may have had a profound event that kickstarted my journey, but let me tell you, the only thing I did was make a decision to get back in that ring and fight. Because you know who's in the ring? Winners. And we are all winners if we are in that ring. So get in that ring and keep on your journey. Thank you.
And that concludes our passion speech share. The ballots are in. We know. And I'm now letting you be in suspense. There's been 150 people watching online right now. Thank you for watching us, being a part of this night, and supporting the Grand Slam, for everybody who has attended. For the last 3 years, we've had an amazing sponsor, our trophy sponsor, and we want to give them a chance to share here. So let's give a round of applause for our trophy sponsor, the Canadian Association for Professional Speakers.
I feel like I need to do a dance now. It was an absolute honor to be a judge today among some really esteemed judges tonight. And I'm sure, like you, I was riveted by the speeches today. It takes so much courage to come up and share that raw realness from inside of you. And Dan and Rena asked me to share a little bit of my experience as a judge. Well, I have to tell you that one of the biggest takeaways that I saw today, and I think, you know, in the professional speaking realm we know, is that each and every single one of us carries triumphs, but we also carry losses. And they can look different. So tonight we saw some losses that were really apparent, but many, many losses that felt invisible, that not every one of us can see. And what I realized today as I was taking the speeches all in today is that every single one of us, especially during this pandemic, had to stand front and center in front of a mirror and look at ourselves and look at our losses and then rise from it. And that's what we saw today, right? Every single speaker that came onto the stage today rose from the losses they had and triumphed in their own way. And the most important thing that I felt inspired by, and I'm sure that you did too, is that we have to believe in ourselves in order to rise. And so this is our moment for all of us. As everything opens up, as we start all over again, and as all of the speakers on the stage today showed us, we have to look at ourselves, believe in ourselves, and rise from that strength. So on that note, let me tell you a little bit about who I'm representing here today, the Canadian Association of Professional Speakers, which we lovingly refer to as CAPS. Now, this is a national organization with chapters across the country. And a few years back, a really good friend of mine, Teresa, said to me, Keika, you do a lot of speaking, you speak professionally. You really should look at this organization and join them. So on the trust of a friend, on a word of a friend, I looked them up and I went to my first meeting. And at that first meeting, I learned that the motto for CAPS is learn, share, grow, and belong. And suddenly I was in a room with fellow professional speakers who were sharing their message with the world, making money from the spoken word. But the beautiful part about this was there were speakers that were miles ahead of the journey I was on. Some of them who've been speaking for 20 or 30 years, some speakers that were on a global stage who had spoken at every continent throughout the world, speakers who were living the dream that I secretly held in my heart as I was building my speaking business. So I suddenly found my tribe. And at the same time as we saw all of these legacy speakers who were there in the group, there were also people that were just a few steps behind me that also dared to follow their dreams. So I'm sharing this with you here because there's such a beautiful alliance between Speaker Slam and the Canadian Association of Professional Speakers. And if you are already speaking professionally, or if you have that desire in your heart to be able to go and make money and create a business with the message you have to share with the world, then CAPS is the place to be for your speaking business. So I'm just going to say to you that, with all of our networking, we have a team of members that are absolute champions, people who recommend you, people who answer questions. You want to get a visa to travel and speak around the world? There's someone who's done that already who can tell you about it. You want to learn how to transition from speaking in person to doing something virtual and really standing out? There are members who are going to be there to help you. So if you're not quite there, come and join us anyway. If you are already speaking, I would invite you to come check us out. We have Rena and Dan's endorsement. They've been part of the CAPS Association and supported us all along, and it's our pleasure to support them too. Thank you. So we are proudly sponsoring the trophies, and it is my absolute pleasure to now say, let the winning ceremony begin. Let's give everybody a round of applause here.
It's the winning ceremony. Let it come on.
The time has come that you've all been waiting for. We are so excited.
We're super excited. This is the 2021 Inspirational Speaker of the Year is going to be crowned tonight. Gina, how do you feel?
I'm so excited. I just want to take these Spanx off, but we want to get to it. But first, what we want to quickly do is hear from our judges. We just briefly, really briefly, want to know what their experience was, and we want to give them an opportunity just to quickly share. So really quickly, Joel, you there?
Joel, come on up to the screen.
Come on up.
Yeah, you make it happen. Move on to the next one.
Okay, how about Raina? Raina, you there? Raina?
There she is.
Hey, what were your thoughts, real quick?
Yeah, first of all, I just want to thank all the amazing speakers who are on the stage tonight for sharing their stories with us. You gave us not only great messages, but also your grief, sadness, and struggles, which made me so touched and impressed. So I really think that you're all winners simply because you already inspired so many people here tonight. Congratulations, everyone.
Thank you so much, Raina. Tabitha, do you have a quick word for our speakers?
I do. I'm just blown away. My heart was lit up the whole time. I saw so much improvement from speakers I've heard before as well. So keep speaking, keep stepping on stages. I love tonight. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Tabitha. Brian, do you have a quick word for us?
I do, and I'm gonna do a different thing than everybody else. I could just shower you all with compliments, and everybody's going to do that, and you deserve it. The reason Dan and Rena invite me to the judges panel is because they know I'm gonna be a bit more critical coming from the TED world of speaking. So here's the most common critique that I was making that I think everybody can take away from this tonight. That the big idea of a speech wasn't introduced or hinted at early enough in some of the stories, many of the stories. So you told beautiful, devastating, uplifting stories. Just remember that you're the hero of your story, but the audience is the hero of your speech. The audience has to be the hero of your speech. So make sure that the audience knows how it's relevant to them early enough that they can follow you on that journey. You did beautiful, beautiful work tonight.
Appreciate that, Brian. And how about Selena?
Hello. So this is my first speaker slam, and I'm just so impressed and moved by everyone's stories. I know it takes a lot of courage to share your story and be critiqued, and I just wanted to say it's been an honor to be a part of this event. Thank you so much.
Amazing, thank you. And finally, Nita, you there?
Yes. Oh my gosh, speakers, you did a phenomenal job. I mean, I was riveted, motivated, inspired, and I am super excited to see where you all go because all of you are winners and all of you had just captivating, amazing stories. So keep speaking and sharing and having your courage, especially even the passion speeches today. Amazing. I'm so glad that I could be part of this.
Thank you so much, judges.
What a hard job they had.
They did. It's never easy, but someone's got to do it. So now let's find out what the third place winner is going to get.
Okay, third place winner, Joel has donated a large canvas from Motiversity. Selena, 2 tickets to Impacting Millions Live. Brian, a Clarify Your Big Idea. Kika, a 1-hour consultation. And Nita, a Global Grit Institute 90-day startup. Who is it going to be?
All right, everybody, I need you to do it at home. I need you to do it right here. We're going to make some noise. And the third place winner is Juliana Bootsman.
So we put our hands up like the ceiling can hold us. Like the ceiling can hold us.
All right, let's move the show going.
Okay, second place. Here's what you're going to get. $500 in cash, Joel's donated a 60-minute Grow Your YouTube Channel strategy session. And Selena, 2 tickets to Impacting Millions Live. Brian, a TED Ready package. Kika, 1-hour consultation. Tabitha, a dream session. And Nita, Global Grit Institute. Who's it gonna be?
All right, everybody, let's make some noise again. And your second place winner is Yvette Raposa! All right. Wow, this is it. I bet all of your hearts are beating right now. This is it. All right, let's find out what the first place winner is gonna get.
Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. Okay, from Speaker Slam, $1,500 cash prize.
Yeah.
A signature video. Joel, create a virtual motivational video and get featured on their channel. Selena, Impacting Millions 1-year publicity training program from Brian, the Thought Leader Starter Kit. Oh my gosh, Kika, 1-month professional speaking, mentorship, and coaching. From Tabitha, book coaching. And from Nita, 6-month Dharma Coaching Institute scholarship.
God damn! Oh, shoot! Oh my God, that is a package. Oh my God. All right. We're gonna make some real big noise for this next winner, okay, everybody? The 2021 Inspirational Speaker of the Year is Marjorie Uno!
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
There she is!
And they say yeah, and they say yeah, and they say yeah. 'Cause all I do is win.
Oh my goodness. Wow, we are so thrilled that you are here. Can you give a couple of words? How are you feeling right now?
I'm stunned because people were like so amazing. Those stories was just great. And the only thing I have to say is that it's really a teamwork. And my team was all the emerging speakers this year who really, I listened to your stories and I heard them and I wanted to pay tribute to your stories as much as mine. And that was the speech. And the speech is really sort of a tribute to all of you and to honor all those storytellers. So it's really amazing. Thank you so much.
Marjorie, thank you
Congratulations,
so
sweetheart.
much. Wow. Wow. That was oh my God, that was heartfelt. I'm touched. Thank you everyone for attending. This production isn't complete without a team. And I gotta show some love for my partner in crime, Rena. Thank you. I know you're watching me from home, from the internet. Thank you for always supporting me. And this team right here, the videography team, you guys killed it. You owned it. Yeah. Let's make a round of applause for that team.
Love, yes.
Gina, thank you. Thank you. You made my life so much easier. You are a goddess. You are. And the speakers, you were fantastic. The judges, grateful. I want to thank my lovely girlfriend for being on the check because I always get him to work for me. It's the worst. And I want to say, my friend James, buddy, like this one's for you. Your legacy will live on. I honor you. I love you. Thank you. With that, good night. Yeah. You are seen, you are heard, and you are loved.
Thank you, everybody. Be safe.
I'm a dreamer. Don't tell me not to dream. I got freedom. And and that's everything to me. It don't matter what I've got or where I go. I find shelter a million miles from home. It ain't easy to keep going when it's hard. Keep shining in the dark when you wanna fall apart. But I'm a dreamer, so don't tell me not to dream. I'm a believer, as long as I got something to believe in. As long as I got something to believe in. As long as I got something to believe in. As long as I got something to believe in. I'm a lover. Don't tell me who to love. I'm a runner, 'cause I got somewhere to run. I just listen to the voices in my head when they tell me I always have something to believe in. As long as I got something to believe in. As long as I got something to believe in. As long as I got something to believe in. As long as I got something to believe in. You know you got to believe. I got to believe. He got to believe. Ooh, yeah. Hey, come on. You got to believe. She got to, he got to. You got to believe. In the morning, in the evening, late at night, you know. You got to believe. Yeah. I do believe. I do believe. You got to believe. Walking on a dream, how can I explain? Talking to myself, will I see again? We are always running for the thrill of it, thrill of it. Always pushing up the hill, searching for the thrill of it. All along, we are calling out and out again. Never looking down, I'm just in awe of what's in front of me. Is it grand to be upon, come on? To be upon, come on. God, I'll never see the love you found in me. Now it's changing all the time. Living in a rhythm where the minutes walking all the time. We are always running for the thrill of it, thrill of it. Always pushing up the hill, searching for the thrill of it. All along, we are calling out and out again. Never looking down, I'm just in awe of what's in front of me. Is it grand to be upon, come on? To be upon, All we got is tonight. That is right to first sight. Yeah, I'd rather be a lover than a fighter. Cause all my life I've been fighting. Never felt a feeling of comfort. All this time I've been hiding. And I never had someone to come home. I'm so used to shit. Love only left me alone. But I'm at one with the silence. I found peace in your vibes. Can't show me there's no point in trying. I'm at one, and I've been quiet for too long. I found peace in your vibes. Can't show me there's no point in trying. I'm at one, and I've been silent for too long. I've been quiet for too long. I've been quiet for too long. I found peace in your vibes. Can't show me there's no point in trying. I'm at one, and I've been quiet for too long. I'm in need of a savior, but I'm not asking for favors. My whole life I felt like a burden. I think too much and I hate it. I'm so used to being in the wrong. I'm tired of caring. Loving never gave me a home. So I sit here in the silence. I found peace in your vibes. Can't show me there's no point in trying. I'm at one, and I've been quiet for too long. I found peace in your vibes. Can't show me there's no point in trying. I'm at one, and I've been silent for too long. I've been quiet for too long. I've been quiet for too long. I found peace in your vibes. Can't show me there's no point in trying. I'm at one, and I've been quiet for too long. Bye.